Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. Quick turnaround. What's that? 12 hours? Less than 12 hours. I think it's 11 hours. Good morning. Happy Friday. Hobby Evolution episode 76. We are heading into the weekend. I have that raw, scratchy, sore throat that I get this time every year. It's that whole weather change. I've got the head stuff going on. I'm a little congested. The drippage down into the throat. Didn't sleep well because my throat was sore. So I'm battling that. And I know coffee is not coffee is like the worst thing to drink on a sore throat, but um, it's got to power me through. Maybe some afternoon tea and honey this afternoon. Try to soothe that throat. Good morning. Sinus infection could be. I have terrible sinuses. I think this is like a head cold, a weather or whatever. Not even maybe not even a head cold, but like a weather change affecting my sinuses and head and all that stuff. I it happens every year when it gets cold out, like the transition into fall. That's probably another reason why I don't like fall. I end up getting a head cold and feel like crap for a week. So that could be a part of it. Um, so what is up? So last night I made the big announcement. I turned in my letter of resignation yesterday to my day job, going in full time, selling cards. I'll be creating more content. So that is effective. My business is active. Well, my LLC was formed on September 14th, and then my start date for the business October 1 today. Thank you, Brad. But I put in my 2 week notice. They accepted the 2 week notice. So my first official like full day for 1 Million Cubs LLC will be Friday, October 15th. So today I'm getting all finishing. I guess I said the last I was dotted, the most important one, turning in that letter of resignation. But I still do need to create a business bank account. I was waiting on some paperwork earlier this week, so just figured I'll do that Saturday morning when I have some extra time. So that was the big news. I saw the chat. Thanks to Brian. I saw the comment. Appreciate that. Appreciate the trade. Um, Dan mentioned hardwire Ethernet cable. I do have that. I've got my setup in my upstairs office, but I haven't plugged in the internet cable. So I had the Ethernet cable hooked up into the router for my when I worked from home for my day job. There's a router plug-in in the office. Um, good morning, Mr. 1 Million Cub LLC. Thanks, Diego. What's up? Good morning. So I was a little disappointed when I saw one of Mike Summers' tweets yesterday, and it was a couple of photos showing his tracking for a Topps order. And the reason I'm disappointed because I am really looking forward to the hobby boxes of Bowman Chrome I purchased. I bought 6 of them in 2 different orders. The first order of 3 was shipped out on Wednesday, and they're like, actually, I think Tuesday was when they like prepared it, but FedEx didn't pick it up until Wednesday. And of course, like the first tracking, it's like, oh, these will be delivered on September 30th. It's like, no, that's not possible. And then when you go to like the actual FedEx website, it's like delivery Friday, October 1st. And I'm like, that's still probably not going to happen. And so I checked it, didn't make much movement. It did make it to Chicago. So it made it further than I expected in a day or two, based on everybody else's comments. But my feeling is it's going to be in Chicago for 2 weeks. So since it's in Chicago, it will not be delivered today. The way FedEx works is it bounces from from I'm losing my train of not my train of thought, but I'm losing the word here. Um, Basically, it's a facility. So it goes from facility to facility um, before for its final destination. So if it gets to Chicago like this morning, there's no way it can be delivered because it's still got to go to another. It's got to go to the final destination facility, and then once it gets to the final destination facility, it'll be put on a truck and then out for delivery. So since it hit Chicago like the fastest, like if it were on a direct route, FedEx, it would be in Chicago this morning. They would put it on a truck to likely Madison, um, and or sometimes Milwaukee and then Madison. So that adds an extra day. So then it would be put on a truck to Madison. It gets to Madison tomorrow, and then on a delivery truck either Saturday or Sunday. So it's basically it stays a day at each facility before it, reaches. So, and then sometimes it gets stuck at a facility because they're backlogged, and basically every shipping service is backlogged right now. So I'm not anticipating. I am looking forward to it. I'm not anticipating my Bowman Chrome being delivered this weekend. If it does get delivered, I'll be very happy, and I will be ripping those, breaking those here on YouTube. So I'll probably just do one box break at a time. I don't like box breaks. I don't like recording my box breaks, and here's why. So actually, now that I say it, I'm not going to do all of them on camera because I don't like breaking on camera. The reason I don't like breaking on camera is opening boxes for me is like an event, especially now that I don't open as much. So back in 2016 and 2017, I was ripping and flipping cases and boxes, and it was work. It was tedious, and I grew to I grew to dislike opening boxes, and it took a couple years, and then I bought a hobby box, and it's like, hey, this is fun, get a pizza, make sure to wash your hands before you open the cards, get a pizza, get a 6-pack, turn on a game. I like to make an event out of it, and I get my penny sleeves, my top loaders. If I'm opening a couple boxes, I'll get a box so I can sort, and it's like an event. But when you're breaking on camera, nobody wants to see all that other stuff. They just want to see the cards. So that's why I don't like. I like making it a prime time event for myself. Turn a game. Maybe there's a good battle on Thursday night football, or maybe it's wrestling on Wednesday night, or what have you. So that's why I don't like breaking on camera. Plus, I still haven't found. Actually, I did find when my buddies came ripping one-handed, and Offbeat All Stars came over. We did the Bowman Mega Rip Party. I just dragged in a coffee table from my storage area, and it's like, hey, this is the perfect size table for breaking, and just set the camera up, and it was perfect. So I've actually done some breaks using that table. So I have found out a way. I still don't know how to double camera it. Like Herman, I was watching Herman's mail day video last night, and Herman's got a great setup for Brad's got a great setup for breaking. The double camera, and you use the fancy StreamYard, which I've only used a couple times. So maybe eventually I'll dive into that a little more. So what's up, Herman? Good morning. Enjoyed the video. So yeah, so that's what's going on. What's up, Bob? Good morning. So this weekend, just going to be kind of much of the same. Not much not much fun hobby stuff going on. No card shows or anything like that. My mom's coming into town tomorrow. So gonna spend some time in the afternoon, go out to dinner tomorrow night. So that is that's about all that's going on. Next weekend is the Rockford card show, so I'm pumped about that. My wife's going to be out of town. Her birthday's coming up. I mentioned that last night. Um, that so her and her mom do a Chicago shopping trip. Don't know how much. I won't tell her how much money I spend at the card show. She doesn't have to tell me how much she spends on uh, the Lakeshore Drive or whatever the fancy stores are. So doing the card show in Rockford. Bargain Box Bo will be there. So Sunday I might sit down, watch some football, and sleeve up some more quarter cards. I really need to get after it for the October show in Madison, October 23rd, because I want to have all new. I want to have at least at the bare minimum two new fresh bargain boxes that nobody's seen, so I can say, hey, all new for October, all new for October. Speaking of all new for October, I've got those monster cards that the NFL that I think it was it Pepsi or Coca-Cola? They put out those monster football cards, like Pat Swilling was in there, and who else was, I think Barry Sanders had a card. It was like 1990, 92. It was like the height of the hobby boom in the early 90s. I have to throw some of those because I think they'll sell, especially in Monsters of the Gridiron. That's what it was. That's what it was. I think Chris Sorich. Yeah, Chris Sorich had a card because he was like Zorro. Those were fun cards. And I have that pile because I think it's in like an eBay, like it's in one of my boxes that because I use it, I'll take photos and post on Twitter and all that stuff. So um, Spoon River Drive is Spoon River Drive for Bob, and he goes, I've only been on. I have so the Spoon River Drive. All right, so I get a lot of my independent and impatience from my dad. And when I lived in Macomb, um, I I think I might have been. I think I was dating a girl, and her friends, my friends, they're married now. They had their parents come down. My parents came down, and we're gonna do the Spoon River Drive. My dad hated that type of thing. I enjoy things like the Spoon River Drive because I like junk stuff. Like I'm a hoarder, so I like that junk stuff. I can find stuff. So I kind of enjoy it. But I hate being on schedule. I really dislike, okay, we're going to go to London Mills at 11. Now we've got to be on the road by noon so we can hit Canton, and then we've got to hit what is the Avon, or I know London Mills was the big one. Avon, Canton, London Mills, uh, Bernadotte, Lewistown, some of those. So it's like I don't want to be on a schedule. My dad actually, I mean, he takes that to the next level. So we did London Mills, and Bob knows all too well how crazy busy. Now, London Mills, for those that don't know, is a small town in the middle of nowhere, Fulton County, Illinois, just outside of Peoria. And it's actually a really scenic small town. It's very like you would see it on a calendar. And the Spoon River goes right through like the middle of the small town. Farmington, okay, yeah, Farmington. Um, and that's like the height of the Spoon River Drive, which is basically it's an annual flea market in like every town in along the Spoon River and in Fulton County, and they've got crafts and all that stuff, and junk, flea market junk. They've got like Halloween decorations, like the gourds and apple cider. Just all the. It's basically a fall festival in a bunch of small towns that encompasses the entire weekend. London Mills is a small town. Spoon River Drive, very scenic. This is kind of it's like the capital almost of the Spoon River Drive. London Mills also known for like their huge tenderloins. Their tenderloins are like this big, and the buns are like this big. County Flea Market Yard Sale. Yep, yep. And so we're in London Mills, and my mom and dad are very Spoonies. Yeah, that Spoonies has the big tenderloins. So my mom and dad are like, very like, they're very passive. My dad passed away, but when he was like very passive, um, and doesn't want to follow a schedule, they're just take it like take it. Well, we'll go to London Mills and we'll do this, and then if we have time, we'll go to Farmington, and just take it as it goes. Let life come at you. That's kind of how they roll. My friend's parents, exact opposite. They had, okay, we can only spend 45 minutes here, and then we've got to be on the road so we can get to the next stop at this time. It was very structured, very structured. So I can see it in my dad's eyes very early on, and especially when the whole schedule, like, okay, we've got to go in 20 minutes. And my dad wasn't having that. And all of a sudden, where'd dad go? I have an idea. And sure enough, walked to the local tavern across the street from the park. There's dad on the bar stool, bush light, watching probably a college football game. I'm sure it was a Saturday in the fall. Traffic hell. It is traffic hell. Spoon River Drive. Thanks for the memories, Bob. Yeah, so the Spoon River Drive, Fulton County, Illinois. Zach says Coca-Cola made the monsters. The Gridiron. I saw Zorich and Ronnie Lott in one of my boxes. Yep, Zorro, Chris Zorich. What's up, David? Good morning to you. So Rockford Card Show next Saturday. Bargain Box Bow, thanks to John from the Rockford Card Show. By the way, his podcast, check it out. You can Google Rockford Card Show. We recorded earlier this week. He gave me the nickname Bargain Box Bow. I kind of like it. I kind of love it, actually. So I'll be bringing all those bargain boxes next weekend, next Saturday. Rock Church on Harrison Avenue in Rockford. And then our show in Madison is Saturday, October 23rd, Madison Sheraton Hotel. I'm excited for another show. We had a great turnout. Loved the turnout for our show last week, our September show. What else is going on? Oh, the Cubs count. I'm burying the lead here. So my Cubs count is updated. It's updated on my Twitter profile and on the website, 1millioncubs.com. Over 42,000. And this is why I count. I count the Cubs, and people say now I have over 700,000. So the count, I think I didn't write it down up here, but the count is 713,483 Cubs baseball cards in the collection. Yes, there are duplicates. So people will say, how do you count those every time? Well, of course I don't count all of them every time, but as they come in. So I started counting them back when I had 50,000 before I started the project. And then from there, as the cards came in, I would count. And it's a little difficult, like with Mike Summer, when I picked those up a couple of weeks ago, it took me almost 2 weeks to count them. Over 40,000, I would, count a box here, count a box there. I'm glad I did, because Mike's like, yeah, there's like 30,000, around 30,000. There's actually almost 43,000 Cubs cards in those boxes, and they weren't easy to. Now, if they're all in like 4-row boxes, you can assume 3,000 to 3,200 cards, especially if they're the 80s and 90s, because the card stock's thinner. If it's more modern cards, it's on the lesser end of that, because the card stock, especially a Heritage or some of the other like Top Sterling, and some of those have the real thick stock. So these were in, like, there was a couple 5-row boxes, a bunch of 4-row boxes. There were some 2-row, some 3-row. So I really wanted to. There was just a giant box with a bunch of like 800 count boxes. So they were in like all sorts of different boxes. So I ended up counting. I'm glad I did, because there were far more than 30,000. There were almost 43,000, like 42,700 and some change in the boxes from Mike Summer. So that put me well over the 700,000 mark. 713,483. Actually, and the count is actually, I haven't counted these yet. So some of these I pulled, some of these that I showed off are from Mike. Well, the Prism, this I pulled from a box that day, and then like this set, this 7 Up set. Um, I I apologize for sniffling. And then the Bowman Chrome from the Real Breaks Cubs break. So I think there's 75 cards there that need to be added. So oh, and I did get a couple. Jenny, I received a couple PWEs from Jenny yesterday, so I need to put those in the count as well. So probably 700, probably 714,000 when it's all said and done today. So I'll get those counted up. Um, there was something else I was gonna mention along with that, and now I can't remember. Um, but yeah, 713,000 plus whatever I count up over here. So there's my sniffle again. I apologize. I'm gonna call it a morning. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow's Saturday. I will go live tomorrow morning. Typical Saturday morning time, probably between 8 and 9. I imagine. Did you mention how awesome I am? I have not, but Brad, you're awesome. Tomorrow, I will probably uh, sleep in. I didn't get good sleep last night. I'm sniffling. I've got the head stuff. So I might sleep in tomorrow. So might be closer to 9. We'll see. But I will go live tomorrow morning, probably between 8 and 9. Hopefully, my Bowman Chrome come this weekend. Not anticipating, especially seeing Mike's. It hit like his boxes hit like every facility east of the Mississippi River. It was pretty crazy. Check out his tweet from yesterday at the Mike Summer. It actually took he had to take 2 photos. That's how many stops his boxes, and they still haven't arrived. And that's with economy shipping. That's what you get with economy shipping. But what sucks is sometimes it's good. Sometimes that free economy shipping from Tops, you'll get it in 2 days. They'll ship it Wednesday and it's on your doorstep Friday. And I've had several times where I never pay for shipping on Tops, and sometimes it backfires and I get it 3 weeks later. But sometimes I get it 2-3 days later, and the people who paid for 2 days shipping are waiting a week for it. And they pay, $15 or whatever, 20, or it might be more than that, it might be 30. I can't remember, but whatever the case, that's kind of their, well, it's economy, so it could take up to 3 weeks. So that's kind of their excuse, I guess. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Friday, and we'll chat tomorrow.